Guys, so today I'm gonna do the men's version of like this going out holiday but not holiday party thing that I'm trying to film, if that makes any sense. So the first thing that that I want to talk about at least is different types of foundation and different things that you could use to achieve this look depending on what kind of skin you have. Is like if you're wanting something that's super easy and just kind of throw on and go, I would do more of like a face and body-ish foundation. It is buildable, but it's not going to be that much coverage. What's nice about it is if you are more dry, it's kind of hydrating. But the problem with that one is it's very dewy, and you would definitely have to set it, and you maybe have to set it throughout the day. So there's a little bit more maintenance with that foundation, but it is a really good foundation if you don't want very much coverage. I used to have a bottle of that somewhere, but I went through security with it and it was the full-size one and they confiscated it. So I don't have that to show you, but it is a really good foundation. So the next ones that I want to show you is going to be the mineralized skin finish from MAC as well. I have two of them here. I grabbed both of them for some reason, but they're nice if you have skincare or skin that you want to perfect but you don't want to look like you're wearing any makeup at all. What's nice about the mineralized is that it is a mineral, so you get that mineral glow, which looks just like skin, and for a man that's fine. Like, it's not going to feel greasy, heavy, anything like that. But this one is more of like a medium coverage, and if you pack it on too much, it kind of looks a little funny. But it's a really good foundation, especially if you're wanting like a nice natural look. And the last one, well, there are thousands of foundations out there, but the last one that I would probably recommend for a man would be the Studio Fix powder, because you can basically get whatever coverage you want out of this, and you can almost use it to cover even like problematic areas like acne. You can use it to cover spots, anything like that. Or you can just lightly dust it on and kind of just even everything out. And I think that this is a great option because it stays matte for a really, really long time, and it's easy, quick, and you can do almost anything with it, so you don't have to buy like, I don't know, 1,000 things. So this is what I'm gonna use today, but I do like a little bit more coverage, but I'm gonna try to do it pretty lightly today. But I'm just gonna get started with this because I've already been rambling for about 4 minutes, but I'll shorten it probably so it won't be 4 minutes. But anyway, the first thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be the Crez Primer and Vitamin. But I just like this guy because it gives you a really nice texture to the skin, and it's just a little bit slippery, so that when you are buffing products into the skin, they kind of move around a bit. So what we're gonna do next is I'm going to take a 168, because you can use this for everything. You can use it for a liquid, you can use it for a powder, you can use it for blush, you can use it for bronzer. And I think that especially for a man, they don't want to invest all of their money into makeup, so I feel like getting an all-in-one brush would be a good idea. So I just literally took it and just tapped it right into the Studio Fix powder. For lots of coverage, I would really work it into the powder, but for a lighter coverage, I just tap it in. And make sure you kind of tap off some of the excess, just so that you don't have too much product when you're putting it on the face, because then if you put it on the face and then kind of blend out, you'll just get this one patch of full coverage and nothing everywhere else. So make sure that it's almost completely removed from the brush. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start kind of in the center of the cheek area and then kind of work out. So I'm just gonna lightly kind of press the brush into the skin, and especially because we have that primer on, it just grabs nicely, and we're gonna get a nice even finish. And with this, you can use it under eyes. I would be careful not to use too much, because if you use too much, it can crease and basically look like you're wearing foundation. So we're just really lightly buffing this into the skin. And with a man, like, you don't have to apply makeup everywhere, I feel like. If you are gonna do it for more like a photo shoot though, you would have to kind of cover the whole face so that you have the same even texture everywhere. But if you're just going out, or if you just want to kind of cover and perfect certain areas of the face, I would say that you can kind of skip over spots. And then if you do need to cover something throughout hair, the best way to do it is to follow the direction of the hair. So my hair always points down, so I'm going to bring the brush and push the powder through the beard in the same direction that the hair grows. That way you don't lift a layer of product on top of the hair to make it look either cakey, powdery, or like a weird texture. And I always get like a little bit of razor burn. So I'm just going to lightly blend some of that powder through my neck. What I want to say to men is, like, if you basically remove too much flaw, then you're gonna look too perfect. So it's like, if you zoomed in, well, if I scoot closer, there's gonna be a little bit of kind of texture throughout the skin, and you can see the things that aren't perfect. Like if I was doing a woman's makeup, I would do something that was like full coverage, beat skin. But for a man, if you do that, then you look like way too pretty. And if you look too pretty, the whole illusion of you not wearing makeup kind of gets muffled, and that it doesn't look good. So I would say that this would be basically enough, like for my taste. But if you needed a little bit more, like if you did have really bad dark circles, like I have pretty prominent bags, but they're not too dark, I would use something like the either the mineralized concealer, that would be a good choice, or even the moisture concealer. I would do this before the powder normally, but I would literally just kind of put them a little bit through here. The thing that I don't like about using a concealer though is that sometimes it looks too highlighty, and when you highlight too much on a man's skin, sometimes it just looks too much like a doll. Depending on the look you're wanting to achieve. Like, I am all for like beating my face until tomorrow and having like basically like a drag queen contour and highlight and ridiculousness. Like, I'm fine wearing that around. But just for like an everyday average guy, that if they wanted me to do their makeup to kind of perfect everything just a touch, I wouldn't use too much product. I basically said that in 7 different ways. And just a little bit of powder on top. Alright, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to just use a little bit of Fix Plus. I emptied it into this little guy just because it fits in my drawer a little bit better. So I'm just literally going to hose myself down with some Fix Plus. The reason being is Fix Plus dries down, it feels like you're putting on a lot, but it's not going to ruin makeup. Like, it probably would ruin more like mascara and stuff, but since we're not doing it, it's not going to create a big problem. So I'm just going to literally hose myself down. The reason why I like to spray my face down with Fix Plus is that it basically brings skin's natural texture back through the makeup. And especially for a man's makeup, you want their natural texture to kind of shine through the powder so that it doesn't look like the powder is their makeup, or powder is makeup, the powder will be the skin. And we're gonna move on to brows. Men's brows are nice because they don't have to be so perfect. They don't have to be so like arched and everything. For me, since my brows are pretty thick, but they are very blonde and they kind of look so dimensional, I always just take a little bit of this guy. I've used this so many times. It's just one of my favorite things. It's called Beguile, and it's just like a brow mascara. I just lightly run this through the hair of my brow, and it basically darkens up the hair and gives me my natural shape. And the last thing that I would do is always bronze, just, not always, but for me right now, I'm gonna bronze just a tiny bit, just right through kind of like the hairline area, just a touch, and then like a normal contour would be kind of like right about here, but for a man I just bring it up just a touch and do more of like a very strong sweep so that it's going to be more angular blush and a contour, not as high as a blush but not as low as a contour, and that way you get just a stronger shape to the face. Just a little bit of lip conditioner, chapstick. So anyway, after all of that is said and done, that is basically the finalized look for a little bit more of like perfected men's makeup, especially if you're gonna go out and do something. So I hope that was helpful to some of you, and I hope that you all have a really good week, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.